This is Captain Binoy Varagal, Assistant Professor of St. Joseph's College, Kozhikode. We are in the lecture series on syntax, and this is lecture number 3 in the series. In the previous 2 lectures, we discussed phrase, clause, and sentence. And in this lecture, lecture 3 in the series, we are discussing coordination and subordination. We know that a sentence has a subject and a predicate. Subject is the doer of the action and predicate is the verb and the other words that are related to the verb, and it is together known as predicate. So subject and predicate together is the clause, and we understand that there are different kinds of sentences. We know that we have simple sentence, complex sentence, and compound sentence. And this classification of sentences into simple, complex, and compound is based on the number of clauses in the sentence. In the previous lecture, I spoke about the independent clause or the principal clause, also about the subordinate clause or the dependent clause. Now, let's look at what a simple sentence is. A simple sentence is a sentence which has only one clause, that is one subject and one predicate. For example, look at the sentence, Geeta bought a new car. Geeta is the subject, bought a new car is the predicate. And now that this Geeta bought a new car gives us a complete idea, we can say that this is a simple sentence. This has a complete idea. It has just one clause. And if we have more than one clause, maybe more than one independent clauses, or one independent clause and one or more subordinate clauses, the nature of the sentence would be different. And now let us look at such sentences which have more clauses, and let us discuss the complex sentence. Complex sentences are sentences which have one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. Look at the example. Mohan did not go to his friend's house because he was not well. We have the main clause, Mohan did not go to his friend's house. It's complete idea. It has a sense there, and the sense is, the meaning is complete. But look at the second part. Because he was not well. Something is missing. Meaning is missing. And this is a subordinate clause. And we understand that a subordinate clause is attached to the main clause. Or rather, we understand that we have a dependent clause connected to or attached to an independent clause. And such kind of sentences are complex sentences. And we understand that the process of making complex sentences is known as subordination. That is subordinating a subordinate clause to the main clause. Subordination is the process of connecting one subordinate clause to a main clause. The result of subordination is complex sentences. And we have to keep in mind the fact that there are three kinds of subordinate clauses. There are three kinds of subordinate clauses. We call them the adverbial clause, the adjectival clause, and the noun clause. And the names of these subordinate clauses is based on the task of the subordinate clause. When the subordinate clause is functioning as an adverb, that subordinate clause will be an adverbial clause. If the subordinate clause is functioning as an adjective, it would be an adjectival clause. Similarly, if the subordinate clause is discharging or functioning as a noun, doing the duty of function of any noun, it could be a noun clause. And now we have to understand the third kind of sentence, that is the compound sentence. A compound sentence is a sentence in which we have more than one main clause. There won't be any subordinate clause. There is no dependent clause. In a compound sentence, we have only clauses of equal rank. That could be two clauses of equal rank or more, like three clauses of equal rank or more. So a compound sentence is a confluence of a combination of two clauses of equal rank, and the process of making a compound sentence or connecting two clauses of equal rank or two independent clauses or two principal clauses is known as coordination. And we have an example here. Ramu attended the wedding party and afterwards left for his country home. Look at the sentence. The meaning we get is Ramu attended the wedding party. Ramu left for his country home. Okay, so both the clauses are complete. We get an idea, we get a sense, and the sense is complete. And these two clauses are independent clauses. We have combined or connected the independent clauses. We have combined, connected the independent clauses with the coordinating conjunction and. So this process of combining clauses of equal rank or two or more principal clauses is known as coordination. And coordination is done with the help of coordinating conjunctions. And that is as an introduction on simple sentences, complex sentences, and compound sentences. Now let us look at the clauses in detail, like what is an independent clause. Once again I repeat, an independent clause functions on its own to make a meaningful sentence and looks much like a regular sentence. So an independent clause is exactly a simple sentence. Say we have Geeta bought a new car. He is a wise man. Can you do it? All these are simple sentences. Now let us look at the dependent clauses. Dependent clauses are clauses we have in complex sentences. Complex sentences are sentences in which we have one main clause and one or more subordinate clause. Such sentences are made through subordination, and we have subordinating conjunctions in complex sentences. So dependent clauses cannot function on its own because it leaves an idea or thought unfinished. It is also called subordinate clause. Dependent clauses help the independent clauses complete the sentence. A dependent clause alone cannot form a complete sentence. The subordinators do the work of connecting the dependent clause to another clause to complete the sentence. In each of the dependent clause, the first word is the subordinator. Say, Mohan did not go to his friend's house because he was not well. Because is a subordinator. And subordinators are different. We have plenty of subordinators. And subordinators are normally relative pronouns, subordinating conjunctions, and noun clause markers. Say, we have examples here. Number 1, when I was dating Diana, I had an accident. Subordinator is when. I know the man who stole the watch. I know the man who stole the watch. Subordinate clause and subordinator is who. He bought a car which was too expensive. Which was too expensive? Subordinate clause. Which is the subordinator? I know that he cannot do it. That he cannot do it. Subordinate clause. That is the subordinator. He does not know where he was born. Where he was born. Subordinate clause. Where is the subordinator? If you don't eat, I won't go. If you don't eat is the subordinate clause. If is the subordinator. He is a very talented player, though he is out of form. Though he is out of form is the subordinate clause, and though is the subordinator. And we have different kinds of subordinate clauses: adverb clauses, adjective clauses, noun clauses. And in each of these subordinate clauses, we use different subordinators. And let us look at the subordinators we use in different clauses. Say, the adverb clause, adjectival clause, and noun clause. Before that, once again, understand what is coordination. Coordination is the process of combining two simple sentences or two independent clauses into a compound sentence with coordinating conjunctions such as and, either, or, but, for, or, nor, also, neither, nor. And subordination is the process of combining one or more subordinate clauses with subordinating conjunctions such as that, who, which, when, because. Now let us look at the subordinators. Which are the subordinators that can occur in adverbial clauses? In adverbial clauses, we can have subordinators like after, although, as if, because, before, even, though, if, in order that, since, so that, than, that, though, unless, until, when, where, whether, while. And now let us look at the subordinators or subordinating conjunctions in adjectival clauses. So these clause subordinators we use in adjectival clauses are also called relative pronouns, and they are that, which, who, whom, and whose. Similarly, we have when, where, and why also in the adjectival clause, where they are functioning as relative adverbs. Now let us look at the very important subordinators in noun clauses. They are that, which, who, whom, whose, what, whatever, whichever, whoever, whomever, how, if, when, whenever, where, wherever, whether, why. Okay, so all these are relative pronouns and other pronouns which we use in the subordinate clauses to, of course, connect the main clause and the subordinate clauses. Okay, now with this we can just conclude that coordination is the process of combining two or more simple sentences or independent clauses, and it is done with the help of coordinating conjunctions and, but, for, or, nor, also, either, or, neither, nor, etc. Say example, she is slow but she is sure. She must weep or she will die. And now we have subordination. Subordination is the process of combining subordinate clauses to main clauses, and the result is complex sentences. And we have adverbial clauses, adjectival clauses, and noun clauses. In adverbial clauses we have conjunctions, many conjunctions, and some of them are after, although, though, as if. And some of the subordinating conjunctions in adjectival clauses are that, which, who, and whom. Similarly, some of the subordinators or subordinating conjunctions in noun clauses are whom, who, that, whoever, etc. Okay, so with this we can come to the end of this lecture, in which we studied coordination and subordination, that is the way of making compound sentences and complex sentences. So with this we come to the end of this lecture. Thank you very much for listening.